Hi team, this is George. I'm looking forward to week 7. Can you believe our projects are coming due this Sunday? So remember, if you want my feedback prior to turning them in for a grade, or you just want early feedback, um, get it to me by Thursday and I'll have your feedback so you can make any adjustments and turn it in by Sunday. If everything's done, looks good, you won't have to make any adjustments. So there is a lot of benefit to doing that if you choose to do it. So I just look forward to seeing what everybody comes up with. I've been enjoying our reading through a lot of the discussions from week 6. Um, week 6, the usability testing and everything. What I have found personally, I keep hitting the wrong buttons, my apologies. We had a lot of excellent discussions in week 6, and a couple things that I wanted to point out was I added a little extra question about simplicity, because we do want to keep things simple and easy to use and follow. If we don't um, keep things as simple as we can, we actually deny part of the learning. We get into information overload, cognitive overload, and we deny the learner parts of their ability to make connections with learning and create that learning experience that sticks with them. So a lot of times, if we're into information overload, it becomes about either memorization or knowing how to do something in a particular way, rather than being able to create that knowledge for yourselves and put all the parts and pieces together. Because always remember that learners bring in their own schema or their own past experiences, and they want to make connections with those past experiences. So that is very important that we allow them to do that. And one thing about the discussions that you had on this, I hope it was valuable. It seemed valuable, me reading through what everyone was doing, and the value for me came in going through the evaluation form and just seeing that different perspective of the learner, the person, the volunteer that's helping us go through all this. So I hope that was purposeful and meaningful for you. And let's jump into week 7. We have 2 discussions in week 7. Usability analysis, you're going to be looking at, or you're going to be working with your volunteer again and getting a little bit more feedback from them. You may already have quite a bit of this, so I leave that up to you whether to go back to them or not. If you do, you do have an opportunity to here to go in and create a video of them and your conversation. Sometimes that is a very powerful tool to help. And in formats like this, if you do create a video, please post it so people can see kind of, okay, I had a volunteer here, but this is how your volunteer reacted and things that they saw. Because everybody's doing a different projects, we get to see how people react onto these different projects. So if you do create a video, please make sure that you do share it. It'll be very helpful, and let the volunteer know, because they have to be okay with that as well, you sharing the video. Otherwise, just write like their thoughts down. Because as you know, for these discussions, I am more than willing to use video or anything like that for your responses as well. So I hope you find some meaning and insight with this one too. And then we're going into the future of e-learning, the good old future of e-learning. Where is that? What is it going to? So as we can see, we're talking about learning, open learning, resource e-learning, you posting entire courses online so interested parties can access the instructional materials. Now, I don't know if anybody's ever gone through these MOOCs and things like that. There's still, these were the 10 years ago, 15 years ago, they started, and they were supposed to change learning, period. And it just hasn't rolled out that way. They've have extremely high dropout rates, like 90, 95% in a lot of the MOOCs. People simply don't finish. So it's going to be interesting how e-learning design and development goes, because we need to find a way that simply works better. So there's so many different ideas out there. I just look forward to jumping into this conversation, adding some of the ideas and seeing some of the ideas that you have as well. So When we're talking about development for the future, what is it going to be? There's, from my perspective, AI is going to be big. There's going to be that's certainly going to have a part. How much of a part or type of part, I don't know, but it might be a good conversation to have. And the trends, VR, virtual reality, and AR, augmented reality, those could be a big piece of it. It just depends. A lot of it, from my perspective, comes to cost. So as costs on these tools and things drive down, we're going to see more of it. So if the cost doesn't drive down, we're not going to see more of it. So it's just going to be an interesting conversation. So have some fun with it, kind of see where everything's going. Take a look and look back in 5 years to this conversation and see how far off or how far on we were with this conversation, because something is always available to come up. So with that said, I look forward to seeing everybody's projects that are coming in. And once you turn them in, if you want them in early, get them in by Thursday and let me know so I can jump in and give you the feedback. So have a great week, and I look forward to our discussions.